Today's program is brought to you by OTCStockShark.com. For the latest and greatest OTC and Pink Sheets information, sign up for your account at OTCStockShark.com. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano. In health news today, the once popular painkiller Vioxx doubled the risk of heart attack and was unfit for consumption, an Australian court ruled last week, awarding a man leading a class action suit against the drugs makers $287,000 Australian dollars. Melbourne Federal Court Judge Christopher Jessup's decisions opens the door for claims from 600 other litigants in a lawsuit against U.S. pharmaceutical firm Merck & Company over its since-recalled drug Vioxx. The painkiller was taken off the global market in 2004 after research raised the risk of heart attacks and strokes. Graham Peterson of Melbourne sued Merck and its Australian subsidiary, Merck Sharp & Dohme, arguing the painkiller caused him to have a heart attack in 2003, leaving him unable to work. The judge found that Merck Sharp & Dohme failed in its duty of care by not warning Peterson's doctor about the drug's potential cardiovascular risk and by its sales representatives emphasizing the drug's safety. But the judge rejected Peterson's claim that Merck knew or should have known that the drug increased the risk of cardiovascular disease long before it yanked Vioxx from the market in 2004. Jessup also rejected Peterson's argument that Merck had turned a blind eye to a 2000 clinical trial that showed potential cardiovascular risks were linked to use of the drug. Merck has already agreed to pay a $4.85 billion settlement to reserve about 50,000 lawsuits in the U.S. Peter Gordon, lead attorney for the Australian class action against Merck, said his firm has been contacted by about 3,000 people interested in joining the class action. Each claim will be evaluated individually, but Gordon said he believes the vast majority will succeed on the same basis Peterson's did. Merck said the evidence showed the company acted responsibly by carefully monitoring the drug and voluntarily taking it off the market. Now over to Brandon with financial news.
Thanks again, Angie. In today's financial news, Bank of America Corporation apologized after its local contractor entered the home of a mortgage borrower when she was away and cut off utilities, padlocked the door, and confiscated her pet parrot. Angela Linnelli alleged in a lawsuit last week that the October incident, which separated her from her 11-year-old parrot for more than a week, caused so much emotional distress that she needed a prescription medication for anxiety. A Bank of America spokesman said earlier last week that a bank employee erroneously believed the house was vacant and sent the contractor there with instructions to install a new lock and otherwise secure the property. The bank spokesman said the instructions were inappropriate because Ms. Linnelli wasn't in default on the house and the house wasn't vacant. Mortgage lenders have struggled in the past 3 years to hire and train enough people to deal with the biggest wave of foreclosures since the 1930s. Nearly 8 million households, or 15% of those with mortgages, are behind on their payments or in the foreclosure process. Many borrowers complain that they get the runaround when they call their lenders for help, receive contradictory information from different employees, and are required to repeatedly fax the same documents. At the time, suicide threats from distressed borrowers are so common that one lender had to establish procedures for alerting the police. Lenders' call center employees are under heavy pressure. In her civil lawsuit filed in the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas, Ms. Linnelli said a contractor hired by Bank of America entered her house about 15 miles north of Pittsburgh in mid-October when she was away. According to the suit, in an invasion of the home, the contractor stopped utility services, cut water lines and electrical wiring, damaged flooring and finishings, poured antifreeze into sinks and toilets, and stole her parrot. Ms. Linnelli, who owns a diner and works part-time as a bartender, said Bank of America representatives weren't helpful when she called to protest. They first denied knowing where the parrot was and later told her she could go get it at the offices of the contractor about 80 miles away. Ms. Linnelli said bank representatives also told her that they were tired of hearing from her, hung up on her, and advised her to seek help from the police. Her lawyer, Michael Rosenweig, a partner at Edgar Snyder and Associates in Pittsburgh, said Ms. Linnelli was seeking damages of more than $50,000. The amount of any damages would be decided by a jury if the case goes to trial. A Bank of America spokesman said the bank would quickly review the allegations in the lawsuit, the actual events that led to them, and the causes of those events, and consider any hardship that resulted. Mr. Rosenwig said Ms. Linnelli had missed one payment around the time of the incident but quickly caught up and was now current on her loan. After she drove 2 hours to reclaim her parrot in October, the bird initially seemed nervous, Ms. Linnelli said in an interview that he is now doing very well. And now to Angie with today's fashion news.
Nothing is sexier than a strong, toned body. And nothing builds great bodies better than a genuine Bowflex home gym. Because only Bowflex home gyms have power rod technology, the secret to getting a strong, sculpted body fast.
I was absolutely seeing results almost immediately.
I love the results that I've seen.
It's probably the best home gym workout I've ever seen.
Call for a free DVD that shows how to get the results you want faster than you ever thought possible.
You can't diet your way to a body like this, but in just 20 minutes, 3 times a week, you can be a stronger, sexier you.
Have one delivered for $0 down and pay as little as $10 a month. Call now for a free DVD that shares the Power Rod secret of building a strong, fit body.
I think women with muscles are beautiful.
Those are Bowflex guns, that's right.
To get a Bowflex body, get a genuine Bowflex Power Rod home gym. Get started. Call now.
Thank you, Brandon. In today's fashion news, after customer complaints, the retail chain Strawberry apparently yanked a shirt with the slogan, "I may not be an Irish girl, but I drink like one." "I was so livid," said Mrs. Quinn, a 45-year-old fashion designer from Queens who spotted this shirt at a store. "It's a teenage family store. I shop there with my niece and my 9-year-old daughter." Quinn said she's able to take a joke, but the shirt struck a nerve. It takes a stereotype and is basically saying that all Irish people drink. It's always related to alcohol. Why can't it be something positive? A spokeswoman for the store, which is owned by New Jersey-based A&E Stores, refused to comment, but Mrs. Quinn said a customer service rep called her last week to say the shirts would be pulled from the store in Queens. At the Strawberry store on 34th Street in Midtown, a sales rep said the t-shirts weren't there because they probably sold out.
Thanks again, Angie. In today's tech news, a Verizon Wireless executive said its first 4G wireless handset could be available by mid-2011. Anthony Malone, a chief technology officer at Verizon Wireless, told the newspaper he expects Verizon to be able to offer more mobile handsets with 4G compatibility within 3 to 6 months after it launches its commercial 4G network. This is about 6 months sooner than had been previously expected. At the GSMA's Mobile World Congress in Barcelona in February, Dick Lynch, an executive vice president and CTO for Verizon Communications, said Verizon Wireless is on track to launch its service in 25 to 30 markets throughout the U.S. by the end of 2010. The company, which is using a technology called LTE, is in the final phase of its technology testing. Verizon Wireless is building its new 4G wireless network using spectrums that it bought in the 400 megahertz auction. The company should be able to start launching commercial deployments within the next couple of months as it finished testing in cities like Boston and Seattle. Typically, when a new generation of wireless network is launched, the first devices to use the new network are USB air cards that plug into laptops to provide faster internet connections. Cell phones and other mobile devices with the new technology embedded usually show up in the market about a year later. But it looks like the development cycle on LTE handset technology is happening faster. Air cards will still be introduced to the market first, but mobile handsets with LTE technology embedded will follow more quickly than they usually do. At Mobile World Congress, Lynch and executives from the European carrier Orange, as well as from equipment maker Ericsson, said LTE handsets will be introduced sooner than anyone had anticipated. Thank you for tuning in to TBC Today. I'm Brandon Vincent.
And I'm Angelina Soriano.